Um, Thank you all for joining us. And again, this is mental health awareness. We're going to grade this mental health awareness level 3. Once we conclude, everyone is going to get certificates, and the certificates will be useful for you to be able to attest yourself to work in the UK or in Canada. Because I have knowledge of these two communities in regard to our CPD and accreditation for mental health education. Sir Ojo,
Yes,
Ojo,
sir.
do you want to?
Yeah. What's the topic, sir?
Mental health awareness, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Yeah, now, when we talk about mental health awareness, it is about letting people understand when we talk about public health promotion, when we talk about well-being promotion, well-being awareness. So majority of people who study our mental health level 2, the understanding of mental health is about when we talk about the difference between good and bad. So having good mental health is like having good well-being. Good well-being. So now, majority of people, when you see the mental health hospital or mental health community treatment, they kind of see big difference between physical health hospital. For example, when we talk about A&E. So now, today, we should be able to have good understanding that there is no difference between physical health hospital and mental health hospital. The only difference is we have different professionals working there when we look at the psychological assessment, also when we look at the physical health assessment. So now, the physical health assessment community, majority of you who study award in working in health and social care level 3, you will understand when we look at the news observation national early warning score. So now, the national early warning score, majority of the time, if we look at places like MAU or MAU, Medical Assessment Unit in hospital. So MAU is just the back of accident and emergency unit. So now, if a patient goes in there, the first thing they do full, they call it triage assessment. So this triage assessment, majority of patients that goes there, there's possibility that you're going to have few people who are having something like kidney infection, STD you call it, some kind of assessment that you do. You test urine, test different blood screening and all that. So there is possibility you're going to have lots of people having signs of depression in this unit. So it's actually physical health assessment unit, but when you go to mental health hospital, majority of us who work there, we tend to look at it like these are people who are actually out of the community that they lock in there, mostly when they are not detained under the Mental Health Act. So now, today, we're going to have conversation in regard to our understanding, and also you will have the chance to be able to study what is mental health, up to about 15 different kinds of mental health. Also, you will be able to have the chance to gain access to full list of what you need to grade yourself on that level 3 with the link we're going to give you. And this can be found on www.ofctrainingcollege.co.uk. When you click on the news, you will be able to see everything there. whatever we're going to talk about today, most of the things, even what some of the things you're going to talk about, I'm very assure you that everything will be there. I'm 100% sure. You will also see some of the things you said. Again, when we go back to WHO in 2022, between 2020 to 2022, WHO recognized mental health now as a disability. So now you're going to have people suffering from depression, which is commonly a mental health issue in the UK. They will be recognized as triad of disability community. So we need to be able to exercise ourselves, express ourselves here today, and let us know what changes, what impact when we look at health promotion in community. How can we put things together to be able to make sure when someone goes into these services, there will be assurance that this is the service they're going to get, and this is what we have there. This is what you as an individual, if you have experience working there, you're going to offer them. Again, as I said, it's going to be very interactive. I will be happy if we have more graded educational person here to be able to contribute. Anybody want to ask question? Can anyone hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So when we look at mental health, what do we think? What was the first understanding of us to look at mental health community or hospital?
To my own understanding, I think when we heard something like mental health, it has to do with someone that is not normal, somebody that is mad or is behaving funny.
Sorry, carry on.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, I said when we hear, my own understanding, when we talk about mental issue, is somebody that has mental health, maybe somebody that is mad or crazy with something.
Yeah. Any other person want to contribute?
Okay, so let me still contribute. I think, like you said earlier, are you hearing me?
Yes, we are hearing you.
Okay, so I think I said it has to do with people that has depression, anxiety, people that has personal challenges that they actually need people to talk to. So usually is mental health has to be in that area also.
Okay. Stella, are you talking or you want me to mute you? So Musa, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. I think I'll go with the second speaker. I think it doesn't have to. I think when somebody is now mad, that is the extreme of it. I think mental health has to start from your well-being. If you are not having depression, are you thinking right? Are you not having anxiety and all that? Doesn't have to be. But when somebody now goes mad, that is the extreme. That means that it has entered another level. So
okay.
I think by my understanding, that's
my own understanding. Before Sunday, sorry, I saw you. Before you talk, can I quickly make something clear? There is a big difference between mental health. Now, let's remove the word mental health. Let's start using the word well-being. Well-being. Now, when we use the word well-being, we can see different language to what we mean by mental health. So if we look at WHO, it's actually talking about people who are psychological, emotional, social, socially okay. When I mean okay, and people who are having good well-being, and people who can actually contribute to their society, people who can engage in their day-to-day activity. Say, for example, let's talk about the anxiety. Someone mentioned anxiety. Let me give an example of simple anxiety. I might be driving from my place to work now, and maybe, Stella, I'm going to mute you. Sorry. Sorry about that, everybody. Now, I might be driving from my place to work. Let's say 15 minutes to my workplace. And I said, okay, I'll be starting at 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. So on my way going now, I said, okay, let me leave the house 30 minutes to, then 15 minutes to get there. So I will be at work 10 minutes to starting my shift. On my way to work, there might be incident on my way. I will not be able to get there that time. So now the next thing that goes in my head and my body is to start responding to how am I going to get there. Say first the traffic, or maybe I will need support if the car has fault. Now, before you know, I had to call work. Oh, I'm on my way, or I might be 10 minutes late. I may not even remember trying to start the car, isn't it? So the next stage, my blood, my body, my brain will start moving. It start engaging. That is where we now experience anxiety. Anxiety. And these are things that also happen when you have interview. These are things that normally happen when you've been threatened with, which language would I use? Maybe you are at work or you had incident at work, and they put you on a probation. You know, these are minor things that happen. Now, if you can deal with these minor things, that means you have excellent well-being. You know, I don't want to use mental health now to make it clear. You know, when we look at the meaning of health, we are looking at well-being. So I'm just from there going on cognitive now. Good cognitive, good mental health, yeah? Good well-being. So that's what we mean by mental health. So when we look at hospital now, hospital is a place, when we say health, a place you go and get good well-being treatment. Does it make sense now?
Yeah.
Good well-being hospital, rather than saying mental health hospital. Good cognitive hospital. Place where you get better. You get treatment to get better. So now, let's convert the question again. I don't know if those who have talked wanted to challenge me to what I've said, or they agree with me. I would like, was it Stella? I don't know, someone was trying to talk before, isn't it? Was it Sunday? I can't remember. I think someone was trying to talk before I start talking.
Yes, it was me.
It was your, please, I don't know, you can talk.
Yes, I was just trying to also come in when you asked the question about mental health. If we talk about health, I think it has to do with, health generally has to do with physical, mental, and social well-being. If we go by the definition of what the World Health Organization has given us. So I see mental health just like another aspect, another like a department that has to do with the total well-being of a human being. But that aspect, I believe, deals more with the emotional and the psychological well-being. Just like every organ of the body gets sick, you know, one time or the other, there's some organs also that are involved in our emotions and our psychology that also get sick once in a while, like you said, maybe during anxiety or during stress, you know, they also get sick. So the well-being of those organs also talks about the state of our mental health. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comment. I think you actually state the full WHO definition, which they've upgraded now. They're trying to use many languages to try and make people understand what mental health is about. So now, let's go back to what Sir Ojo said. I know when he said it, a lot of people were laughing, but I'm just going to tell you that he was right to what he was saying, but everybody have different contexts to their own view when we talk about clinical mental health issue. So now, he used the word man. So anyone who is under that grade, we are going now, this conversation is going now to mental health diseases, mental health issue, mental health problem. Let me use the word problem. We've gone beyond mental health now. So now, what Ojo was actually saying, he was actually pinpointing. If someone is having, let's use the word, how will I, which, I don't know what, I think PTSD, do we understand PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's use that one as an example, because anxiety was also easy, isn't it? To clear path, good head. Okay, now, let's use PTSD as an example. We might have someone who's having issue in their home, maybe mortality. Do we know what I mean by mortality? Don't want to use it.
No, try to explain this.
I'm comfortable using death. Maybe someone died now in the family. Okay.
Oh.
Maybe someone died in the family. And you might also have patient that's having this issue. They still went along 1 week, 2 weeks. This person doesn't eat. They doesn't drink. They doesn't communicate. And they now remain on their own. Normally, if I look back to where I grew up, I was having community that, oh, when I lost my granddad, a lot of people were feeling it. Even 2 weeks, 3 weeks, nobody was able to feel better. You can see lots of cry every day. So now, they might be able to do the ceremony, burial ceremony, after 1 month, 2 months. Then in 6 months of it, or 3 months, I'm talking about developing community. And these things still go on and on and on and on. I'll tell you what, that is where we now started seeing something we call clinical challenges now. It now become clinical. Clinical. If you look at depression, it said when it goes for a very long time. The anxiety, I'm going to work now, the anxiety going on for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I start engaging, maybe responding, shouting, you know, because my car spoiled, I didn't go to work, or I now walk to work. I might be using the bus. You can't see, you start seeing me responding in a way that is unusual. Maybe a week, 2 weeks, then you're going to know that this person is mentally unwell. That is where Sir Ojo, the person is now mad. The person is now mad. So now, these are what we see every day. Because individual is not able, and I mean able, to comprehend the challenges that they are facing at home. It can be maybe at work, as I said. I use myself as an example. Is it WHO? WHO was actually pointing on clinical significant disturbance in an individual cognitive, emotional regulation or behavior. You know, I remember who was giving that definition now. I think someone was giving that definition of WHO definition of mental health. So that's where you now have clinical. If you add clinical to that WHO, you're not going negative now. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it Mojirola? Is it Mojirola that was saying it? Is Mojirola? Yeah.
Yes, you're correct.
Yeah. If you have clinical now, clinical to that definition, you now find out that you are not going to negative side of mental health. So that's why we now have challenges now. So if you have patient coming in to hospital, the first thing that goes in your head, this thing didn't start yesterday. It wasn't day before yesterday. It wasn't last week. Does it make sense? It does. It wasn't. It goes about when we talk about clinician now. What they look at history. They look at history of individual. When you look at care plan, I don't know if you are aware, they changed care plan to people plan or something. They changed care plan now, the language of care plan. So if you look at care plan, they now look at care plan history. What hospital this person has been before? Does this person have family, that is having the same issue? So if we have the same thing in our community, we might have family member or friend in the community that is having this. The same thing we're going to observe. Before you see someone unwell, the person must have been missing at the community maybe for a week or 2 weeks. You haven't seen the person for a long time. Obviously, you can't be drinking with someone in the bar, then the person is drunk and describe that person as mentally unwell. So it's not going to be possible, except the person is having medication. That is where we now have, if you see some mental health, now, if you go to our website now, where you're going to see more information about everything we're talking about, you're going to see something like drug-induced, drug misuse. So this usually comes where people take medication without reading the instruction or following the instruction, or medical personnel make a mistake giving the medication to patient, or maybe a community where someone's supposed to go to hospital for medication prescription, they now go to chemist, pharmacy for medication. So majority of this language is from the drug misuse, drug abuse. I don't know if I'm right. Do everybody agree with what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Please, sir, could you repeat?
Okay, I don't know if anyone want to contribute again. Come here, I talk too much. I don't want to talk. I'm trying. I don't know anybody want to contribute. Sir Ali, do you want to say something? Sir Ali, do you want to say something? Oh, you mute yourself. I think you mute yourself. So now, when we look at in the UK, according to Public Health England, so 1 in 4 people are mostly likely to have mental health issue. Do we agree? So 1 in 4 people are more likely to have mental health issue. 1 in 4 people. One in 4 people. So now, how do we manage mental health, or how do we promote the community now? If we have, for example, if I have an NGO, I want to promote mental health awareness, how can I do that? Do we have any idea?
I think we can start by advocacy.
Okay, thank you very much. Like what we are doing now, isn't it?
Yeah.
We are actually engaging in advocating mental health awareness, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Sir Ali, do you want to say something?
No, for now, no.
All right, thanks. Sorry. Yeah, and again, when we look at public health approach, public health, I think WHO, this is not public health. WHO was actually letting us, giving us the freedom that everyone in the community, wherever you are, and mostly us that work in mental health organization, they say every individual should be able to have access to some kind of information that support them to promote good well-being. Either education, if they don't have capacity, if you are at work, you provide something for them to support them to have good well-being. Say everyone. And WHO is actually talking about everyone in the world. Everyone. You can imagine that. So that means every government, every local government, international government, they are all responsible to making sure everyone have access to managing their mental health. So again, for those who just join us, from the beginning, I said, if you log on to www.ofctrainingcollege.co.uk, you click on news. So when you click on news, you will be able to find list of different mental health, up to 15 or 20. And you will be able to find different definition of mental health. You'll be able to find some key facts about mental health. So we also talk about now, when we're talking about intervention, you can also go in details. So let's just talk about social determinants of health. So now, WHO also emphasizes social determinants of health. So we should look at where these things start from. What is the root of this problem? So now, social determinant of health is actually saying your problem arises from where you were born, where you grow up, where you live, where you work, where you stay. So now, if anybody is having mental health problem, or the person is mad, let's use that word, if the person is mad, you will equally find out that this thing is from that root, where the person was born, or where the person lives, or where the person grew up, or where the person works. Do we agree with that? Social determinant of health. Do we agree with that definition?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So if we look at social determinant, if we bring it down to our work, if you were in care home now, you can find out that if you were in nursing home, it's much more easier for you to see lots of equipment in terms of infection control, support, isn't it? But in mental health hospital, because majority of people doesn't have stable cognitive management, isn't it? They can't actually look after themselves. Those things you can't see it everywhere because some of them are drinking, isn't it? They can drink it, they will not be aware of where it is.
Daniel.
Hello? Is someone talking? So anyone can shut me up because I said I talk too much.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, sorry.
My name is Olufemi Akintayo.
Hello, sir.
Good evening, sir. I just want to bring your attention to something so that we have a clearer definition on the topic we're actually discussing, because I want to believe that mental health could actually be positive or negative. It doesn't necessarily mean that one is actually psycho or maybe mad or something. I think it's about only mental illness that could actually be leading into that different part that we're really talking about. Because on a normal definition of mental health, it could actually be a situation whereby you can cope with the situation you find yourself, or a situation whereby you cannot cope with the situation you find yourself. So mental health does not necessarily mean, I'm just thinking, it's not as if I'm just saying, might not necessarily means that one is actually unable to deal with the situation of things. I don't know if I'm actually saying something relevant.
100%. I think if I can support you, you are 100% right. But one thing you do understand is that before maybe you join in late, we started with what is mental health.
Okay.
And we were able to agree to what you are saying, that someone who is having good health, good lifestyle, enjoying himself, who can contribute to their day-to-day activity. So we also went ahead to talk about day-to-day stress, maybe driving to work, having anxiety, and at the end of the day, able to manage it. So we also talk about job application. We talk about many, many things. In addition to what you said, so a lot of people contributed that they agree. It was only one person who started with the person is man, but now we now move to the stage of mental health issue, mental health problem. That's where we now bring it in.
All right, good.
When that thing went on for a very long time, that anxiety, or someone feeling lonely for a very long time, someone not eating for a very long time. So I now use the word as WHO use it, clinical management of mental health issue now. That's what the person now get to that stage. So right now, we now move to public health approach. What are we going to do to support people who are mentally unwell? If we now accept that there is mental health problem, what are we going to do? That's where we are now. I don't know if anybody can challenge me if I'm right.
Yes, this is Moji speaking. I just wanted to not exactly add to it, but just take it from where you started, that you were actually trying to teach us about some factors that could predispose us, and that there are other factors that will precipitate on it and turn it into mental illness. Yeah. Having said that, you just asked the question about how to promote or how to handle it within the community, and somebody started with awareness. Or education, like you expanded on. Yes, but after that, I think if there are support groups, either collaborating with other professionals in the field of mental health, or or people that have gone through that particular pressure before, and you have them in a support group, is also a good way to promote mental wellness. For example, if I have a loved one, it's easier for me to comfort and talk to the person that is also bereaved. So having such support groups would also go a long way within the community.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Thank you very much. I don't know if Sir Olufemi want to contribute again, because we're actually in the public health approach now. What are we going to do, or what can we do? What do we have in the community to support people? We also mentioned something like care home, having to engage in infection control management. There's something I'm trying to look at, because I was trying my best not to look at anything, because when I look at something, I might talk too much.
All right, let me just contribute a little bit to this. I think a way of helping our society concerning this topic is, in the first place, we have to agree that there is what we call mental health issues. And when we agree to that, we should actually let people understand that there is a way out to this issue. In the first place, we should be able to identify, knowing our problem, what is actually causing it. And the only way we can, not really the only way anyway, let me not use the only way. I think one of the ways that we can use in tackling it is to make a provision for people around us to know that there is someone to confide in, to discuss their worries with. So I think in the first place, if we can discuss our worries, then there will be a way out or a solution to whatever the problem is. Like Nigerian will say that when you first discuss your problem, you have in one way or the other solve that problem.
Definitely. Talking about it, communication, and someone to listen to you as well, isn't it? Because like in Nigeria, you just said now, I'm quickly going to touch you on that. Nigeria is a place when, if I tell someone I'm mentally unwell, do you think they will believe me or they will accept?
Yeah, I've already said that the awareness will go first before we can now be discussing, because if we don't even know that there is a mental health, or we did not even agree as a community that is mental health issue, definitely we will not be able to discuss it and people will understand us. So in the first place, the awareness goes first, whereby people really understand that, okay, my reaction was not just ordinary. It wasn't just like maybe it's people from my background that is causing all this or that it is actually something that is bound to happen as a result of this and as a result of that. So if people are aware already that this kind of a thing is happening, definitely they will be ready to discuss, knowing fully well that people that actually brought the awareness to their community, they will definitely have the listening here to whatever issues that they want to discuss with them. It is only when they lose their confidence in those people that actually bring the awareness that maybe they lose hope and they might not really want to discuss it. But if the trust is still there, as a health social worker, definitely they will want to discuss it with you. And they were very sure that whatever they were discussing is actually personal and not to the public. It's not a situation whereby a son will discuss something with maybe a family friend, not wanting the father or the mother actually to be aware of that before dealing with the situation. And the next thing is that he just went ahead to go and discuss it with the parents, meaning that you have actually the person will definitely lose the trust they have in you and will not want to even discuss whatever that he or she is dealing with to any other person, because the person that he actually trusted actually betray his or her trust.
Mm-hmm. It's like a shame, isn't it? It's like shame.
Yes, exactly.
Because shame and community interest as well. When I look at community interest, maybe if that your parents is holding political position or is holding a position that the person is leading or looking after people, and saying this person is unaware, it will not be good, isn't it? And for me, that's the most dangerous part in our community. Can I bring everyone to one thing in our community right now? When we talk about that Nigeria, in general, let's talk about Africa. Does it make sense if I use the word Africa?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when I use the word Africa, now let's go straight to, if you look at when we started, there's something I was saying. Guys, if I'm talking too much, please stop me. I always say that I talk too much. So now, let's look at the word kidney disease. Do you know that in developing world community, high percentage of people are having mental health problems as a result of kidney infection? This actually starts by the methodology they use in managing kidney disease. I'm talking about medication now. Hello? I'm talking about medication. So now, majority of the medication used in managing kidney disease, when we talk about high blood pressure, medicine, majority of multiple medicine that they use, they actually add to the anxiety and lead to this person not physically unwell, which can negatively impact their mental health. Hello?
Hi.
And this thing can increase their stressful attitude in the community. You see some people, sometimes they are aggressive when they talk, and this is community, we have heat wave, isn't it? We have lots of heat wave, what is that? Because of people that are having high blood pressure, they always put on suits, they are going to work. Some of them are leading us today. I don't want to mention names. Some of them are leading us in that community. For example, this thing can increase to depression. It can increase to depression because they won't be able to comprehend what they are doing anymore. They can't comprehend what they're doing. And some of them also drink alcohol, which can also increase their cognitive ability to understand whatever is happening in their environment. Now, I'm talking about drug and alcohol misuse. That's the word I used before. Drug and alcohol abuse. So this thing is increasing, and it is a major concern. Let me use that word, major concern in our community. I don't know if anyone agree or understand what I'm saying regarding that.
Yeah, we understood.
Yeah. Because when we talk about, for those that didn't understand, when we talk about kidney, something, I think not everybody can mention, isn't it? Say kidney, let me use the word kidney, something that we use. Is it to urinate, isn't it? That filter your body system, isn't it?
Yeah.
It filter when water or whatever comes in, it filter them together, then it drops some for urine to come out, isn't it? Then it drops some of them that are still healthy to go back. However, this thing also connect to managing your blood pressure. Kidney helps to also control your blood pressure at the same time. So majority of the medication, focusing on the medication now that I use. So my point is that any medication we are taking, we need to also check the side effects. We need to check how to manage even paracetamol. Paracetamol is also good for us to check the side effect of paracetamol. Some of us, I don't know, people don't want to, they have headache, isn't it? They want to take paracetamol. The next thing they want to take paracetamol. I know of a lady who just came from Africa a few months ago. She came from Africa with about 4 medications. Those 4 medications, I wasn't smart enough to know exact 4, but I was able to find out that 3 of those 4 medications were the same medicine.
Wow.
So when this lady got to the GP now said the 4 medications are the same medicine.
Wow. That's one.
Just imagine. So this is something she said were prescribed for her in Africa. So someone automatically, when they stop it, this person was having high blood pressure the first thing. So they stop all the medication and the doctor asked her to come back in 7 days. Before 3 days, the blood pressure went down.
Wow.
Just imagine, and this medicine, they advise her to be taking it 3-4 times a day.
Wow.
Africa.
So this is someone who is really healthy. But maybe at that point, this person wasn't feeling well. You know when we started talking about mental health, we talk about feeling good, isn't it? Then we started talking about having some minor issue. Maybe this person was having 24 hours challenges, then rush to GP or pharmacy. I don't think they will even go to hospital. They'll go to pharmacy. And the next thing, they prescribe such medication. So the major concern in that community is drug and alcohol abuse.
Abuse.
Yeah. So now, before, I used to think when you talk about drug and alcohol abuse, you talk about people going to club, drinking, getting drunk. But it's beyond that. When we talk about drug misuse, drug abuse, we're talking about wrong prescription, wrong pharmacist giving medication, someone not reading medication before you drink it, or not checking the instruction, or not following doctor instruction. You know, doctor said take your medication once a day, twice a day. You didn't take it. So automatically that can actually lead to drug misuse or drug abuse. Some people did take their medication for 2 days. They want to take 3 or 4 that they miss. You know, it do happens. So these are what they are classifying as drug misuse and the alcohol abuse. Some of them taking medication, they are still taking alcohol at the same time. Or I can only drink 1 cup of alcohol, but I'm drinking 5 now because I'm trying to show up to my friends that I'm a man. You know, these are things that affect in this community that are leading to mental health problem. But because, as Olufemi said, people are ashamed to talk about it, isn't it? People are ashamed to talk about it. And now you can find out that this thing is going to increase because this is a community that has the freedom to smoke, freedom to drink. Everybody has the freedom to open pharmacies, isn't it? Or to sell medicine in the streets, isn't it? So we need to be able to focus on public health approach wherever we are, whatever we are doing. And most of us who is opening NGO, we should be able to engage in mental health awareness in the NGO, in the community. It's not just the government, isn't it? It's not just the government. It's about everybody, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't know if anyone want to contribute to that.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. What I want to point out about this awareness of a thing, like I have an example this night. There's a colleague in office. We work together. Like
One minute, sir. 1 minute, sir. I'm really sorry because I have a registration I don't want to lose. I would not allow anyone to use the word colleague or anything linked to work.
Okay. No, sorry. So there's someone that said, okay, I'm tired. The next thing is I use Coco de Mo. I said, come on, you're tired. Have you had a shower? Have you tried to rest? What did you do? You go higher. Like what you're saying about freedom to drug, freedom to drink, freedom to this
Yeah.
thing. So a lot of people need awareness of it is not so the solution is not going by using the next by using drugs. And even using drugs, you don't start at lower level, common paracetamol or Panadol, probably. Even you might not use that if you had a shower and you try to rest. It's when you are unable to rest or sleep, or even before you even do that, you have to see your GP if you're unable to sleep or something. So it's like this freedom of a teen is causing a lot of problems. And a lot of people need awareness, and the awareness is even for those that are ready to listen. Some you talk to them, they will believe they are right, what they are doing is right, they understand what they are doing. So, but the only thing I say about it is just the awareness needs to continue. Try to talk to who you can talk to, create awareness one way or the other. That's uh when you have a distress, you're unable to rest, you are facing some problem. It's not the next is not using drug as a solution to such a problem. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. It's still the same drug abuse, drug misuse. In addition to what you just said, even paracetamol is the smallest. Do you know in the UK, paracetamol is targeted as the highest risk of drug abuse? I don't know if you know
Yeah.
paracetamol. And
That's why they won't sell more than 2 for you if you go there.
yeah,
But in Nigeria, you can actually go and buy 10. They don't care. They just sell it for you.
because UK they recorded that this thing is the most dangerous. They will not sell it for you. You understand? So now,
Yeah, but Dimo,
Sir Robert, you want to talk?
but the circle Kodimo to
No, I didn't. Kodamo, that's codeine. That's CD. They don't sell it.
so how many
Let me say this. There are medication you can actually get over the counter, which is allowed, which is being regulated. But let me just put it this way: that experience in medicine in Nigeria is not the same thing with this place. Actually, codeine content in Nigeria is somehow controlled that you might not really have access to it without a strong prescription from doctor in Nigeria. So if you're actually doing it over the counter in Nigeria, they see it as a legal thing because I see so many pharmacists or chemists in Nigeria that they will always want to hide their codeine. Funny enough, on getting to this place, I've been to my GP, and there was a time he had actually advised that I can actually take Cocodamo and I can take it like 3 times in a day. And this is something that I can actually buy without prescription here. But the difference is that the content of the codeine in that medication is different from what we're having in Nigeria. So sometimes we really need to understand how it works based on the region. It's just the same thing with the alcohol content here. If you're buying spirit in Nigeria, if they should tell you that it's 40 degrees, just know that it is actually 40 degrees. It's not the same thing with what we have here. So most of the things that we have here is being controlled than the way it is being controlled in Africa. So cocoa damot sometimes, based on the region, might not actually be seen as something that is prohibited. Even in the UK here, they will only ask you that, have you taken this thing before? They will never restrict you from not buying it, but they will control the number of sachets that they sell to you.
Musa, you want to say something?
Yeah, I think another thing is that because I've had to go to my GP, and they told me that they had to treat me for 3 months. When I did the NHSP, wanted to go for their training, and they gave me employment, and then they had to refer me for a blood test. But when I got to the hospital, Manchester Hospital, they said when they carry out the test and they gave me some medications, they actually told me that this medication normally have side effects. That, okay, will you be able to use it, but you have to take this thing for 3 months and we monitor you through. That I was wondering, if it has the after effect, why should I take it? Then now said the test they did for me is to look at the position of my kidney and liver. That because most people, when they take that medication, they have complex kidney and liver issue. But this is the only thing they can use to treat it over 3 months. So what I observe is that they give me 3 appointments. Each month I go there, that I finish this. When they give you first dose, when you get there after a month, they will carry out a test. Oh, everything is okay. You can take the second one. Everything is okay. Which you are not likely to get in Africa. Once they give it to you, if you like, use it. If you like, don't come back. They don't even care whether you are still existing. But over here, they kind of monitor whatever they give to you to see how you are using it, whether you are responding positively or negatively to it, so that they can stop. But actually, it came with a lot of side effects. When I called you, say, oh, it's as a result of what you are using. Tell your GP to do this and that. So I think it's a bit better here in terms of monitoring and the way they control the medications they give to us over here, rather than in Africa, where nobody really cares.
So now, if we look at, thank you very much, Musa. If we look at the public health approach now, we can see that there are many, many things, many issues in our community. Apart from when we talk about mental health issues, isn't it? We can see that the war of drug misuse is higher than even mental health itself, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's higher than even mental health itself. Majority of us doesn't do all these things. Even let's talk about this painkiller now. Majority of people might have headache if you didn't sleep, isn't it? And
Yes.
you can have someone doing night shift Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I tell you what, you have lose maybe about 3 days sleep. I know you get home, you sleep, definitely. You get home, you sleep, then you do school drop off, or you do school pick up again, isn't it? Then you go back to work. Or you live in an environment where the cars are blowing on, or there are cars passing all the time. Your sleep will not be as normal as someone who get home like me. If I'm not doing anything, 6 p.m., I'm sleeping already. 6 p.m. And sometimes I can actually sleep in the afternoon. You know? So although the challenges of not sleeping are actually more than you having health issue on its own. Your thinking, the way you talk, the way you respond sometimes, you are not aware of these things. You are not aware. The first thing you need to do, if you look at some of your mental health patients that are coming in, when they say they are having eating disorder, or they are having PTSD, they are having psychoaffective disorder. because psychoaffective disorder is something fluctuates. It goes up and down. You can have bipolar. You can have about 3 or 4 symptoms.
Schizophrenia or whatever.
Yes, schizophrenia. You can have multiple of illness in one. So now, if you look at their history, you check the definition of these things. If you go to our website, just check everything because they are there. They are open for you to check everything, A to Z. So you're going to find out that majority of these things connect to not sleeping. Majority of them started from not sleeping. You know, we also have mothers. We have mothers who actually have children to look after. They wake up early in the morning, do school drop-off. They come back home. I know of a lady who will come back home and clean the whole house. She will go to night shift. When she get back home, she do drop-off. Then she had to clean the house. Anytime I get to her place, maybe about 11 or 12, then she's telling me, oh, yeah, I just came back from, I can see you wearing your uniform. What's going on? You know? So, are you working tonight? She will say, yes. So you can imagine this person not sleeping. Then I'll be trying to look for an excuse to leave because I know that what you are saying is not going to make sense. But I don't want to tell her that what you are saying is not going to make sense because she might be angry because she's very professional. I don't want to measure her position. She's very professional. So now, you can see many of us are doing this thing. And majority of people in developing world are also doing it. When we talk about our politicians. Our politicians, they do politics at night. They come to the office during the day. Some of them fell asleep during the, you can see national program we are doing, isn't it? When you see them falling asleep during the meeting. This is why they fall asleep. I'm revealing the secret now. They are very okay, but because they haven't slept for almost a week.
It's Balabala Blue.
They will start sleeping. Then you'll be saying they are aware. Look at it since one election. He's been looking very well.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't slept for a while. So some of those little challenges he was having, maybe he might have little kidney issue anyway. But the fact that drug abuse, drug misuse are the major issue in our community. Those paracetamol you are drinking, I tell you from today, you have to check it yourself before you drink it. Majority of them, I think they lead to cancer. Hello? I think it's going to shock you now. It's going to shock you, isn't it? So these are things you need to check when you are taking paracetamol. It is better you sleep. The headache will go. Hello? When you sleep, the headache will go. Than taking paracetamol. Sleep, drink enough water. When you are work, always carry, there's something they say in the Amazon now, Amazon, where every hour you can regulate how much water you drink, isn't it? So just buy that and put it in your pocket or take it to work. You check it all the time. Give you an excuse for you to go into your staff room, you know, to be drinking it every an hour. You will find out that your body system will change. Between 3 weeks, your body system will change for drinking the right amount of water, for getting the right sleep at the same time. You can also change your shift because for me, I changed my shift, was it about 4 years ago? I've done support worker job. So before then, I was doing day shift for about 4 years. After I did the night shift for 3 years, I had to change to day shift for 4 years because it was too much for me. I could not, I could not do it. Yeah, when you need money, please be careful when you do that. Now, if we can finalize today to what we have talked about, again, if you go to our website, www.ofctrainingcollege.co.uk, I will write everything on the WhatsApp page again so that majority of people can see it. I will share it. You will be able to see everything you have talked about today. Majority of the things you have mentioned. Are you talking about drug misuse? Are we talking about WHO? Many of you were citing WHO. All your definitions are there. So now, the advantage of today, everyone that comes, I beg of you, the page is going to be open. Make sure you put your full name there, or if you know me very well, you have my number direct. You can send me your full names. Just say attendance. Also, although I've seen majority of people here now, you will get level 3 certificates. Is a level 3 certificate award on clinical practice in mental health awareness. So, which covers all the areas you have talked about, because we talk about public health, isn't it? We talk about WHO. We talk about multicultural communities, isn't it? We also talk about our self-care, self-awareness. We also talk about England, the system of healthcare, isn't it? We also talk about caring for individual, isn't it? So we also talk about looking after our colleagues at the same time in terms of when we are at work. So these are purpose. These are major purpose why we are here today. And another thing is, we must be careful of the language we use. It's good, someone is mentally unwell, then we can classify that person, but we must be careful of trying to think this person will not get better anymore. Was it 3 years ago? Anyone who is having mental health issue now is not regarded as someone who is having WHO classify mental health as disability. So there will be opportunity that you'll be seeing more people coming out now because the world is recognizing it. Not just someone who is having some physical disability or is having some kind of injury, accident, and that are disabled. When we talk about physical health hospital. So that mental health hospital begin to recognize disability, which is very good, so that they can get the balance of support that people are getting in the world. So in developing world community, many of us have access to that place. It's also our duty, what we have talked about today, is to share the information in our community. So when the next program is going to come up, we're going to talk about communication and English documentation in hospital, working in mental health hospital and working in care home. So now we have ESOL, we have English language. So what we're going to talk about is care note writing, how to document, language we need to use. So you will also have access to kind of example of how to do your care note right when we talk about psychosocial note documentation. So when you are doing your note, just think psychosocial. So sometimes, you know, you are at work, they give you like 3 or 4 patients, isn't it? So now, that patient, we're going to talk about how you can think psychosocial for that patient. Think at the head, the face, the body, the leg, you know, all part of holistic approach when you are doing the notes. You know, was the person talking, was he having good orientation? Was this person receiving visitor? Was there communication between the health professional? Was this person mentally okay? Was this person physically okay? Was this person walking about? Does this person have some, when you say physical health now, does this person have food and fluid? And this person having, you know, all these things, we're going to talk about all of them, how to document the right notes. The purpose of this is when we have issue at work, when they call you to court, you will be able to think from your head before you even look at the note. You know what you have written down. You have written psychosocial on the note. So it doesn't matter. Even if you are asleep, you know that, oh, you've done psychosocial on that note. When you leave your workplace, you have written psychosocial notes down for that patient. So when you get to work, think psychosocial about your patient. So this patient, is he okay? So now more information about psychosocial will also be shared so that you have more insight about this thing. This program today is sponsored by 2 communities. Zion Extra and Global Peace Let's Talk sponsor this community today. So now, majority of the community from India, some of them they attend, But the fact that they are well ahead of us, about 5 hours, 6 hours ahead. So please, let's keep supporting the community. This discussion, it helps a lot. It helps a lot. And the advantage is that everyone is going to get certificates. And wherever, if you have community, we're going to make sure we contact you. If you have association, if you are talking from international, maybe you're in Nigeria and you join us, make sure you contact us. Let us know you attend this program so that the support we have for you in the community will be given to you. And also, everyone, we're trying to make sure they have level 3 education grade. So make sure your community, anyone that is a member of your community, they have access to that certificate. Thank you all for coming. And do we have any more questions? Do we have chances to ask anything? Doesn't matter. Or if you want me to turn the recording off.
I want to ask a question, sir.
You want me to turn the recording off?